just when you thought it was safe to share your opinion on Jaws. Welcome to Hear Me Out, the segment where I defend the indefensible, I challenge your favourites and make you rethink everything you thought you knew about movies. Whether I'm calling out a classic or hyping up a flop, all I ask is, hear me out. Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I've started a new segment on the channel. I've been planning this for a long time now because I do have a lot of what they call hot takes in the movies, not just horror, but every movie genre. And I thought I'd maybe just do a segment on my channel with regards to that. And I think the first one I'm going to dive into is Jaws. Now, I don't think Jaws is a masterpiece, and I don't think Jaws is even a great movie. But before you grab your pitchforks, please understand that I do know that it is a masterpiece to other people. I can understand its cultural impact. I understand that it was the film that made the summer blockbuster. I understand everything that everybody loves about Jaws, and that's the reason for this segment, because my hot takes aren't the facts, they're just my opinions. You have to remember that as well. So if I say a great movie's bad or a bad movie's great, don't take offense to it, it's just my opinion. One of the other reasons that I'm doing these videos is I see online all the time, like Twitter and Facebook, where someone gives us a bold statement but doesn't explain themselves. I'm not going to give you a bold statement and then just walk away. I'm not going to tell you Jaws isn't a great film and then just walk away. You have to explain yourself as to why you think it's not great, or at least why it's not great to you. And that's where Hear Me Out comes in. So first of all, I didn't grow up with Jaws, so I feel like the magic had gone by the time I started watching Jaws. So it came out in 1975, I was born in 1983. So of course I'm still old enough to have watched the movie and enjoyed the movie, and I do remember watching it as a kid and thinking it was actually pretty good. But over the years, after watching it time and time again, I feel like the magic has gone faster than other movies that came out back then as well. By the time I came to appreciate horror movies like Jaws, I feel like they've become parodies of themselves. They've became memes of themselves, especially today. You know the big one-liners in the movie, you know the most famous scenes in the movie. So by the time you come to watch the movie, whether it be for the 10th time or the first time, you kind of already know the movie before you watch it.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
As the film did come out in 1975, it has a slow pace to it, and not because it's a great build-up to something even better, in my opinion. It just felt like it didn't really go anywhere. There's a lot of talking in the movie. I love slow-paced movies, I love talking movies, but Jaws is supposed to be a summer blockbuster, and it didn't feel like that. It's sort of like when people watch The Exorcist for the first time. Now, I still love The Exorcist to this day. It is a masterpiece in my opinion, but if you're watching The Exorcist for the first time today, you might go, what was all that hype about? And that's the way I feel about Jaws. When I watched Jaws for the first time, I was only a kid, so I don't remember it, but watching it in my teenage years, I was excited to see it. 20 years after it came out, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this movie. It's supposed to be terrifying. And then I watched it and I'm like, okay. So in that respect, I feel like it's a product of its time. Some products of its time can age gracefully, like Halloween, but some don't age gracefully, like Jaws. I feel like it's too talky. There's too much dialogue. Now, again, I love dialogue, but a summer blockbuster popcorn flick, I want to see a little bit more action. And it's not an issue with Jaws. I just feel like it is a product of its time. It is called Jaws as well, and the shark doesn't show up as much as you think it does. I think people have maybe watched Jaws years ago and not went back to it and loved it. But I feel like if you go back to it now, you would be like, oh, well, where is the shark? The shark doesn't feature that much in the movie for a movie called Jaws. Now, I'm not saying movies like Deep Blue Sea or The Shallows or any other shark movie is better than Jaws. I still feel like Jaws is one of the better shark movies. But when you compare it to shark movies today, apart from some of the bad CGI in shark movies, they feel a little bit more intense than Jaws did. When you look at the director, Steven Spielberg, I feel like Steven Spielberg has directed better movies since Jaws, and in fact most of his movies have been better than Jaws, and I think he would probably agree with that, because remember, Jaws came out in 75, it was one of his first movies, not his very first, but one of his first movies, so he's still learning as a filmmaker. Since then he's directed movies like E.T., Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan. All these movies are 10 times better than Jaws, so when you compare the director's work, then Jaws is one of the worst. Jaws is also one of these films where people say you cannot remake it. I disagree. I feel like you could remake Jaws and you could make a better movie. You could make it more horrifying, little less dialogue, we could see more of the shark, try and introduce or reintroduce the practical effects again, make it better than it was before. I feel like Jaws is a movie that could be done again and better. But look guys, I could go on and on. I don't hate Jaws. I think it's a good movie. I just don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it's a great film, but I know that there's people out there that love the movie. In fact, the majority of movie lovers love Jaws. But my question to you is, well, a few questions is, do you think it's a masterpiece? And if you do, when was the last time you watched it? And if you watched it recently, what makes it a masterpiece? But what I would like to see out of these videos that I'm doing is try and normalize unpopular opinions. I feel like you can't really give an unpopular opinion online without backlash, and I don't want that for this video segment. I want people to embrace the unpopular opinion as long as they give the unpopular opinion and give reasons for it. And I hope today that the reasons that I've given you are acceptable enough for you to go, do you know what, that's fine, it's still my masterpiece, but I understand why you don't think it's a great movie. And that's what I want from this segment. So to round it up, Jaws is a classic, it's just not my classic. Anyway guys, leave your thoughts and opinions down below, let me know what you think, and as always, thanks a lot for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played in the cat?
Someone's in the